Have you ever felt like staying in a situation was draining the very essence of who you are? Maybe it's a relationship, a job, or even a version of yourself you've outgrown. Deep down, you know it's time to leave, but something holds you back. Fear, guilt, or the weight of expectation. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, believed that walking away isn't just about saying goodbye, it's an act of courage, a choice to prioritize your peace and authenticity over the comfort of the familiar. But walking away in silence, that's something different. It's a decision that doesn't seek approval or demand explanation. It's a declaration of self-respect. So, why does it feel so powerful to step away quietly? And why is it one of the hardest choices you'll ever make? In this video, we'll explore Jung's transformative insights on the power of silence, the freedom it brings, and how this one act can set you on a path to your true self. Walking away in silence is more than just an action. It's a statement that you value your inner peace over external validation and that you are ready to prioritize yourself over the expectations of others. Carl Jung believed that this kind of silence is not avoidance, but an act of self-respect, a choice to honor your true self. But why does silence hold so much power? Because it communicates boundaries without confrontation. When you walk away without words, you create space for yourself to heal and for others to reflect. This space is not an absence, it's a declaration. It says, I no longer need to explain my worth or justify my choices. Think about the situations where you've stayed too long, even when you knew it was time to leave. Relationships, friendships, even jobs. How often do we cling to them out of fear of the unknown? Silence breaks that cycle. It's a clean cut, a way to step into the unknown with dignity and courage. However, this act of walking away is not without its challenges. For the people you leave behind, silence creates a void. They are forced to confront your absence, to sit with their own thoughts and unresolved emotions. It can make them uncomfortable, even defensive, but here's the thing, their reactions are not about you. They are about the parts of themselves they're now being forced to face. For you, this silence becomes something else entirely. It's an opportunity to listen to yourself, to hear the voice that often gets drowned out by the noise of others. It's a chance to ask yourself, what do I truly need? Who am I when I'm not trying to meet someone else's expectations? Yet despite this potential for growth, silence can feel heavy. It can be filled with doubts and guilt. You may find yourself questioning, did I make the right decision? Should I have tried harder? Will they ever understand? These questions are natural. They come from the attachments we form, the ties that bind us to people and situations, even when they no longer serve us. So why is it so hard to let go? Because silence forces us to confront not only the people we're leaving, but also the parts of ourselves we often avoid. Jung believed that the act of walking away brings us face to face with our shadows, the hidden fears, desires, and wounds that shape our decisions. And until we confront these shadows, we remain tied to the very things we're trying to escape. This is the paradox of silence. It feels both liberating and challenging. It offers freedom, but only if you're willing to embrace the discomfort that comes with it. So, what lies on the other side of this discomfort? To answer that, we need to explore what happens when you create space for transformation. Walking away in silence is not just an external act. It's an invitation to confront the parts of yourself that often remain hidden. Carl Jung described these hidden aspects as your shadow, the parts of your personality you reject, suppress, or ignore. And when you decide to step away, you inevitably encounter them. But what is this shadow, and why does it play such a significant role in letting go? Jung believed that the shadow holds everything we've denied about ourselves. our fears, insecurities, unfulfilled desires, and even untapped potential. When we stay in situations that drain us, it's often because these shadows are at work, keeping us tied to what's familiar, even if it's harmful. Imagine this. You're in a toxic relationship or job that no longer fulfills you. On the surface, it seems like you're staying because of loyalty, obligation, or fear of change. But beneath that, your shadow might be saying, you're not good enough to find better, or you deserve this struggle. These unconscious beliefs shape our actions, keeping us trapped in cycles that no longer serve us. Stepping away breaks this cycle, but it's not without discomfort. When you walk away, you remove the distractions that keep you from facing your inner self. Suddenly, the doubts and fears you've avoided rise to the surface. And this is where transformation begins. Jung believed that confronting your shadow is the first step to becoming whole. He famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." But how do you face your shadow? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts and feelings that arise when you consider walking away. Are you worried about being misunderstood? Do you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself? These emotions aren't weaknesses, they're clues, pointing you toward the parts of yourself that need healing. For example, if you fear being judged for leaving, it might reveal a deeper need for validation from others. If guilt holds you back, it could stem from a belief that your worth is tied to how much you endure for others. Recognizing these patterns allows you to begin the work of integration, bringing your shadow into the light so it no longer controls you. But here's the challenge. Facing your shadow can be uncomfortable. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to see yourself fully. This is why many people avoid it, choosing instead to stay in situations that feel safe, even if they're unfulfilling. Yet the rewards of this work are profound. When you confront your shadow, you reclaim the parts of yourself that you've denied. You begin to see your patterns not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. And as you integrate these parts, you unlock a sense of freedom and authenticity that can't be found anywhere else. Jung described this process as individuation, the journey of becoming your true self. It's not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming whole. And walking away in silence is often the first step on this path. But what happens after you've created this space? What do you do with the emptiness left behind? This is where transformation truly takes root. Let's explore what happens when you allow yourself to sit with the void. When you walk away from something or someone that no longer serves you, you create a void. At first, this emptiness can feel unsettling. It's the silence where your distractions used to be, the space left by what you once held onto. Carl Jung believed that this void is not a loss, it's a beginning. This empty space becomes fertile ground for transformation. Think of it as a blank canvas. For the first time, you're no longer reacting to the noise around you. You're deciding what to paint, what to create, and what truly reflects your essence. But here's the catch. Most people rush to fill this void. They look for new relationships, new distractions, or even old habits to avoid the discomfort of sitting with themselves. Jung warned against this tendency, emphasizing that true growth comes from facing the emptiness rather than escaping it. So, how do you embrace the void without fear? Start by viewing it as an opportunity rather than a problem. When you let go of what drains you, you make space for clarity. That clarity helps you see your true priorities, what you value, what you need, and what brings you peace. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt a sense of relief after walking away from something toxic? That feeling isn't just freedom. It's the first sign of alignment. When you clear out the clutter, your intuition becomes louder. You begin to hear the voice inside you that was drowned out by external noise. This is why Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." The void becomes a mirror, reflecting back the parts of yourself you need to rediscover. It's in this silence that your true self begins to emerge. But this process isn't about isolation, it's about recalibrating. As you embrace this empty space, you start to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with who you truly are. You're no longer chasing approval or trying to fit into roles that don't suit you. Instead, you're creating a life that feels authentic, one decision at a time. And here's where the real magic happens. This alignment doesn't just change you, it changes the energy you bring into the world. You begin to notice synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, meaningful connections, and signs that validate your new path. Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, the idea that when you align with your essence, the universe responds in kind. But what happens when the fear of the void starts to creep back in? How do you stay grounded in this process of transformation? The answer lies in how you set boundaries and prioritize what truly matters. Let's explore that next. Walking away in silence isn't just an act of letting go, it's a leap toward your true self. It's a decision to prioritize what truly matters, your peace, your energy, and your authenticity. Carl Jung believed that when we choose to step away, we're not just leaving the past behind, we're creating a path toward becoming whole. But here's the truth, this path isn't always easy. The doubts, the guilt, the fear of being misunderstood, they'll try to pull you back. Yet, it's in these moments of discomfort that the real transformation begins. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This is your chance to take control, to break free from patterns that no longer serve you, and to rewrite your story. Think about it. Every time you let go of something that drains you, you're making space for something better. You're creating a life where your energy is spent on what nourishes you, not what depletes you. And the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your true self, they'll find you when you're ready, when you've made space for them. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about having the courage to walk away, even when it's hard, and the patience to sit with the discomfort that follows. Because it's in that discomfort that you'll find clarity. As you move forward, remember this. The approval you're seeking, the peace you're chasing, the freedom you crave, they've been within you all along. Walking away isn't about abandoning others. It's about reclaiming yourself. Jung once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart." So, what are you ready to let go of today? What are you ready to create in its place? Share your thoughts in the comments, because your story might inspire someone else to take their own leap. And remember, the silence you choose today isn't empty. It's the beginning of something extraordinary.